guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I am going to show you the latest release from Studio Canal, which is the limited edition 4K box set of Mulholland Drive. So for anyone who's not familiar with the film, I'll just give you a quick overview of what it's about. So Mulholland Drive is a film that was released in 2001 and it was directed by David Lynch. And it's basically about a woman who goes by the name of Betty, played by Naomi Watts. And she is a character who comes to Los Angeles in order to pursue her dreams of becoming a Hollywood star. She's a woman who has a real positive energy, she's got big aspirations, and she's a real happy-go-lucky character. And yeah, she's basically there just to pursue her dream of acting. And then at the same time, we have another character who goes by the name of Rita, who's played by Laura Haring, and she is involved in a serious car crash at the beginning of the film. She survives the crash, but she emerges obviously injured, but she's also lost her memory. Now, her character and Betty's character, they cross paths along the way, and Betty, being the type of character that she is, shows some concern for Rita and decides to go out of her way to help her. And together, they basically go on this journey to discover her identity and to find out what has been going on with her. That is essentially the plot in a nutshell. But obviously, because we're talking about David Lynch here, there is a lot more to it than that. If I was to go into every little detail about this film, I would be here for hours. So I won't bore you with that. But if you want to know more, I'd implore you to check the film out. So without further ado, let's get into this unboxing. So this is the box set and how it looks. So this is obviously the front. You've got the sides here, the back with all the information on. This is a J card, I should say. And then you've also got that side there. So J card obviously comes off. It's got those little stickers on it. And then this is sort of the box without the J card. And if I just turn that around, that's the back. These letters here, the sort of like incomplete letters, the sort of meant, you know, kind of like the way David Lynch is. He's a guy who is, you know, a lot of riddles with this guy. He likes you to solve things for yourself. I'll just quickly show you sort of the J card here. So that's obviously got sort of information about the film, special features and all that good stuff. I think that in terms of special features, I don't think there's actually anything new on it, which is a bit of a shame. I think if you own any of the previous Blu-ray releases, you're essentially getting the same sort of special features. So yeah, I'll show you now. So this box opens up sort of like this, flap opens like that. Got some more sort of those incomplete letters on that. So yeah, I'll just show you what's inside. So firstly, we've got the digipack here that contains the 4K disc and the Blu-ray disc. There's no real artwork behind the discs. Again, it's just sort of like you get these, you know, these incomplete letters along the top and the bottom. But yeah, so that's the front of the digipack, and then that's the spine, and then that's the back. Sort of a nice sort of picture of Hollywood from a bedroom window there. Okay, next thing we get in this are these art cards. So if I just take that off. So yeah, so these art cards, they're a bit more smoother, a bit more flimsy than like typical art cards that you'd get in sort of other types of limited editions, but they're still pretty nice. So obviously this first one is obviously the new artwork. Got this one here. Got this one, and this one. Sort of like the classic image of Naomi Watts from the film. Okay, the next thing we get is a booklet. So that's the front of the booklet, and that's the back. So this booklet, I'm not too sure if there's anything sort of new in it. I used to own a DVD of this film. It was kind of like a special edition from a few years ago, and I remember that had a booklet in it, and I think this might have the same sort of stuff in it. But yeah, so you get some essays. So this first one is an essay by David Jenkins. Just go through there, some pictures. More pictures, the rest of the essay. Yep, more pictures there. Get here, it's 10 clues of David Lynch. So this is 10 clues to sort of solving the film. Yeah, I think these are pretty widely known amongst Mulholland Drive fans. You get another essay here by Anne Smith. These essays are actually quite, enjoyable to read after you've watched the film, because it's a type of film that is very sort of thematic, and you can do a lot of analysis on it. And these essays are obviously other people's opinions on what they think the film is really about. Yeah, some more pictures there. Get a little about the restoration section there. David Lynch filmography. And then you get sort of like cast and crew details there. Yeah, so that's basically the booklet. So as I say, I don't think much in it is different from what we've seen before, but for anyone who doesn't have one of the previous releases with a booklet, they might sort of enjoy that. Okay, the last two things we get from this set are two posters. Now I'm quite surprised, because I thought we were just going to get the one poster and it was just going to be double-sided, but no, you actually get two separate posters. So this first one is obviously of the new artwork. I do really like this one, so I'll probably try and hang that up somewhere. And then here is the other poster. So this is sort of the classic sort of poster, the classic image from the film. I think it's probably the most widely known poster from the film. And that is basically all the contents of the box. So one thing I've sort of noticed about this box is it looks quite thick, like it's got a lot of depth. But when you actually open it up, the contents only go to sort of about here. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's like a sort of kind of like a mat underneath it, which it's like kind of bouncy, and it holds the contents in. So it's kind of a bit misleading, because you look at the box and it looks huge and you think you're going to get loads of stuff in it, but it's not quite as much as you'd expect. So in terms of the actual 4K transfer, I haven't actually watched the full film yet, but I did have a quick look at it, and I must say it does look very, very nice. There were two previous Blu-ray releases of this, and I do own both of them. And I remember the first one, I don't remember when it was released. I think it was like the early 2010s. And I remember that one having a kind of like a washed out image, like kind of a bit like grey, overly white. But then when they did the 4K for the Blu-ray in 2016, I think it was, I remember there was a lot more colour in that, and it was a big improvement. But I must say, this version looks even better. I mean, we've got the same colour from that previous Blu-ray, but the level of detail with the Dolby Vision, it looks absolutely amazing. So if you're a fan of this film, you should definitely try and get it on 4K if you can. Overall, would I recommend this box set? If you're a die-hard fan of this film, then yeah, I would say it's a no-brainer. As I said, it is a really, really nice looking set, and the 4K picture and the sound from what I've seen so far looks absolutely amazing, and it looks the best this film has ever looked. But having said that, I do understand that this set may be a bit expensive for some people, and I think it also may be sold out in some stores. I'm not too sure on that. But I'm sure that Studio Canal will release this in a standard version, maybe later sometime next year. So if you're maybe not willing to pay that much for this box set, then I don't think you'll be missing out on much, and you can just go for the standard version when it's released. Would I recommend this film for anyone who hasn't seen it? Absolutely. I mean, I might be biased because this film is in my top 10 films of all time, but I just think there's something about this film that is just so like magical, but so like interesting and so thought-provoking, and just everything about it is just brilliant. Like the acting, the story, the visuals, the sound, especially the sound, and the music. And you get to the end of this film and you've just got so many questions afterwards. I know when I saw this film for the first time, I was thinking about it for days afterwards, and I think they're the best type of films for me, when they've got you thinking for like hours or even days after you've watched it. If there's only ever one David Lynch film that you want to try, then I would totally recommend Mulholland Drive. For me, it is a classic, and this 4K version is absolutely brilliant.